set them to vibrate so we're not interrupted. I would like to start by first introducing the members of the zoning board. And to my right is Jeff Sauer. Our clerk is Ken Scholes. We have Becky Kilborn. We have Ken Jarvinen, and our alternate all the way down the end is Corrine Doherty. And my name is John Bowner. I am the chair. This will be my last night as the chair. No, I'm sorry. It was my last night. We're gonna have a change. This last year and a half has been a little challenging for the zoning board, both in person last year and remote this year, and missing meetings last year. So I'm happy to say it feels like we're kind of coming through, and we're moving towards more normal operations. From the planning department, I'd like to introduce, to my right over there is David Fields and also Georgia Pendergrass. We have minutes from our last meeting, which was May 24th. Do I have that date correct?
Yes.
You are all in receipt of those minutes. If there's no further discussion, could I get a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
I'll second.
I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And with that said, again, it's been my pleasure to be at the helm here for the last year and a half. We've had changes. We've had COVID. We've had everything. I think we've managed to kind of keep the doors open and the applications kind of flowing through our town hall. And thank you very much to the planning department and all their efforts throughout this, because it definitely has not been easy, complete with lots of changes. So with that said, I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, thank you, John. I think you did a great job last year.
Thank you, thank
I'd
you.
like to make a motion to make Rebecca Kilborn our new chairman.
I have a motion to appoint Becky Kilborn as our chair.
I will
do have a
second that.
I have a second, and all in favor?
Aye.
And I believe we're going to stay with Ken as our clerk, so
Yes.
keep it up. And with that said, Becky, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, I'm just going to, thank you very much, and thank you to John for taking over for a year and a half, which is a long time to be chair, so. I just want to go through the procedures for tonight. We have some continued cases, and we have one withdrawal. We'll handle those first, and then we'll go to the regular cases. If it's your application, we're going to read the case and then ask you to present your information, and we have a microphone up there and a podium. Once you present your information, we'll go to the board for questions, and then we'll go to the audience for questions or comments, and then we'll go back to the board for deliberation, and depending on what the board says, I'll give you your options for moving forward. And I think that's it. So we're going to go to the first case.
Our first case, thank you, Madam Chair. Our first case is 12 Bowden Street. It's zoned R2. Request for a special permit to build an extended family living area on a pre-existing non-conforming lot in accordance with Section 9.3.3 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaws, made by Paul and Amanda Bartlett, docket 21-4930. Madam Chair, we have in receipt of an email. We are going to postpone our ZBA meeting as we do not have the plans ready yet. Signed, Amanda Bartlett.
Okay, I have a motion to
I'll make a motion to continue.
to 6:28.
So moved.
Is there a
I'll
second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Our next case is 22 Bayberry Road, zoned R2. Request for a dimensional variance from Section 7, Table 2 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaws for a new garage with a side setback of 1.3 feet where 15 feet is required, made by Tara Marie Boudreau, docket 21-4934. She is also requesting to continue. She's still in the process of working with the contractor and the architect, and she would like to continue to the next meeting. Signed, Tara Boudreau.
Can I have a motion to continue to 6:28?
So moved, Madam Chair.
And a
I will
second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Our next case is 152 Endicott Street, Zone C3. Request for a use and dimensional variance to redevelop the property into a 4-story multifamily building with 192 residential units and a 4-story accessory parking garage in accordance with Section 6.1 and Table 2 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaws, made by Dilip Realty LLC, docket 20-4886. We are in receipt of a letter from Golston and Stores. The applicant and the abutter couldn't come to terms for agreeing on the plan for Chalet Court. They would like to withdraw without prejudice. Signed, Timothy Sullivan.
A motion to accept the withdrawal?
So moved, Madam Chair.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I just want to say one thing. There's an agenda, a pile of agendas, I think, on the table out there. If anybody wants one, feel free to get up and go get one. Thank you.
Our next case is 51 Needham Road, also Zone C3. Request for a use variance to allow multifamily residential use and a finding to allow alteration of existing non-conforming parking and landscaping setbacks in accordance with Table 3 and Section 3 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaws, made by JHR Development LLC, docket 21-4936. We also have a letter from McCann and McCann requesting to continue. The engineer and project architects are still getting their plans together.
Can I have a motion to continue to 6:28?
So moved, Madam Chair.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have a real case. 6 Algonquin Road, zoned R3. Request for a special permit for a 20-foot by 30-foot extended family living area in accordance with Section 9.3 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaw. Request for a dimensional variance from Table 2 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaw to allow an EFLA with 23.7 feet of front setback where 30 feet is required, and 13.5 feet of side setback where 20 feet is required. Request for a finding in accordance with Danvers Zoning Bylaws, Section 3.11, to allow the expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling made by Sarah Laporto, docket 21-4938.
Hi, come on up. We have new technology. We're just so excited. We can actually see the plans, and so tell us what you would like to do.
Yes, thank you for having us this evening. My name's Sarah Laporto. So my parents are here, and my husband as well tonight. We would like to receive a variance in order to build the addition to the side of our property. That's the Agawam Road side, along with the special permit for the extended family living area. My dad has a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, which is,
Yeah,
happening. And it would be nice, to be able to provide care for my parents. So we tried to look at the minimum amount of space and the most logical place. This sort of gives the house a U shape. What actually prompted me to consider this as an option is our neighbors on the side recently expanded their garage. So the map 8, lot 2B, they expanded their garage on the same side.
Yes, they were in front of us for that approval.
So we talked to Paul next door and asked if he would be okay with this. So it's just, it's like least impactful on the house.
Can you pull up the other plan and explain to us how they will enter and exit?
Yes, so these were very rough sketches, but is it okay to?
Yes.
So basically, where you see dining and living, we would have a door on that.
Georgia, can you put the big one, the one that just shows the EFLA?
So
There we
here,
go.
yeah, so this is on the Agawam Road side, so adjacent to our garage. We would have, a so-called front door so that they can access the parking area. And then the second means of egress actually goes into the garage area as well for parking. And that's just my rough sketch. We wanted to see if it was even feasible to have the equivalent of a handicapped accessible living space with sort of the minimum, requirements.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so, yeah.
All right, we're going to ask you some questions.
Okay, great.
All right. Jeff, we'll start with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the problem with your lot is you have 2 front setbacks.
Yes,
And
which
the-
was why I originally asked for a finding and then realized I was wrong because I didn't realize they
and-
would be considered front.
Right, and so 30 feet back from both roads, which makes it very difficult. I have no questions, Madam Chairman, thank you.
Thank you.
Can you just tell me a little bit about the common area that would be shared between the main house and the EFLA?
So essentially, the two houses would converge at the garage. We can extend it back, so without changing anything on the front setback or the side setback. You can see the next space is our den. If it's not permissible to have that common space be the garage, we would simply push that wall back of their kitchen area, yes, right there, and combine the den directly into their living space.
So you're saying the common area is the garage?
Well, the way I had read it, being that there had to be some type of pass-through through the house itself, and the garage is entirely enclosed, I wasn't certain if that would be permissible, but we did have the forethought to think if that is not permissible, we can simply push the back wall back and incorporate it directly into the den.
So there'd be some kind of door between,
Or just open. It can be open.
okay. I have
Trying
no
to give
further,
the, oh, sorry.
I have no further questions, thank you.
Okay. I guess we'll have Ken.
Okay, I'll go. It's 600 square feet, the EFLA?
20 by
About-
30, so approximately. I'm sure once it's walls in, it will be less than that.
Okay. No further questions, thank you.
Thank you.
Ken?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ken?
I have no questions either.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't really have any questions. I guess the question for the planning department is the garage acceptable? I'm going to throw this out at you and with a question for common area.
I think
Sorry,
at the-
David, to
No,
put
that's
you on
okay.
the spot.
That's fine. I think at this point, we didn't look into that necessarily. I'm not sure if it's specified in the bylaw specifically.
I think it just says common area, which I guess
think
a
so, too.
garage could be
It's
common
kind of
area.
subjectively up to you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, I'm going to go to the audience. Any other questions from the board? Okay, I'll go to the audience. Mr. Duggan? Yes, you should just stand to the side there and let him have the microphone, I guess. This is a new process with this microphone, so.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matthew Duggan. I'm at 41 Chase Street. Typically, we would have an entrance or an egress to the outside, and that plan, it didn't look like there was one.
They have an outside.
So we know that we don't like to have like a entrance visible from the street that would make it look like a two-family. So that's kind of the gist of my question to you, Madam Chair.
Can you see that? Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So that faces Agawam Street.
And the front of the house is on Algonquin.
So we don't like that, right? We like to have the entrance
It's
not
usually-
visible from the street.
Usually, we don't want two front doors.
So
I
is
guess
that
it's
what
a
that is?
decision, of the board, but
So there's no specific
No.
restriction to that?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
It's kind of
Thank you.
unique where they have two frontages.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Discretionary. Thank you. Anyone else? Any questions, comments? Okay, we'll go back to the board for deliberations. Jeff?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You just stay there.
You
Yeah.
can stay there. The only, I mean, I have no problem with this plan. The only comment I would have, though, is 600 square feet is very tight. And if you were willing to incorporate that, move that wall a little more and incorporate the den, it might be a much more comfortable situation for you. When we vote on a plan, that's what you have to build. So think carefully about locking yourself into 600 square feet. It's very small. That's just a comment. I would approve the plan as presented.
I mean, they live in 600 square feet right now.
Yeah,
And they
there's a
have
lot
access
of
to our home as
one-bedroom,
well.
600 square feet apartments.
Right.
Lots.
Yeah, we don't want too big, so, but
Okay.
thank you for that. I
right.
appreciate that.
John, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too think it's very modest. Obviously, our kind of template is 750 square feet, but I guess I don't like the fact that there's not like a common pass-through when it's just connected to the garage. So I think I'd like to see it, have some kind of pathway through to the main house. So that would be my comment.
All right, let's see where we're at with
Yeah,
everybody
I'm not
else.
sure I'd vote for it as presented.
Does the applicant understand our reasoning for that? We've had a lot of illegal apartments
no.
in the town. So anything that makes it look less like an apartment and more like
Part of
an
the house.
extension of the house, we like that.
I'm a real estate professional myself. This is purely to be able to care for my dad and
Yes,
give my
but
mom some
we-
relief.
We understand.
Yeah,
But that's why we like to see common areas and big openings. It just makes it much less likely that someone later on might turn it into an illegal
I
apartment.
understand. Thank you.
All right, Ken, please.
I'm okay with the way this is presented. I would vote for this.
Okay. Ken?
I think I'd like to see an opening to the main part of the house as well. I think that would be just for future if something did happen, because the parking area is more of like you can always share parking, but not really the house, and it would be more apt to becoming a separate apartment by someone else in the future. So I don't know if I wouldn't vote for it, but I would prefer that. I would prefer if it was feasible to do.
Okay.
I agree with the other board members, and I also think if we just continued this for a few weeks, had you revised the plans, you could have more room for your parents, have that common space, and I think especially if you're going to need medical devices in the future, the more room and the more space you have, the better it's probably going to be. So I agree with John. I think I'd prefer to have more of a common area or a common space.
Okay. So I would vote for this the way it is. I think there's a lot of 600 square foot, one-bedroom apartments. It's typical. So I would vote for it in terms of the size. I think it's a little awkward in terms of you being able to help them if they need help. So I'm going to just poll the board again because I'm not sure that we have the votes for you tonight, and you might have to make that little bit of extra extension. So
I'm a
Jeff,
yes.
You're a yes, John?
I'm a no.
I'm a yes.
1, 2.
I would be a yes if this
Okay.
was the only way they could do it, because I want it to happen.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And you're,
I would be a no until they make that change.
okay. And I would be a yes. So you have the votes to go forward tonight if you want to keep it the way it is. If you don't want to keep it the way it is, let me give you your options.
We will keep it as it is because we had also discussed, our garage is so large, we can actually make part of the garage the den, so it will be that transfer through. The common space will become like finished proper space, so yes.
Through
we
the
would-
garage.
Yeah, but it would become.
But you will finish it.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it'll be like the den. So yes, we'll keep it as it is.
okay.
So, Madam Chair, just a point of information. So does that mean this floor plan will change and we're going to
No, I
submit
mean,
a
they can
different
finish
floor
the
plan?
garage if they want.
This
Yeah.
will not change.
That what they're doing won't change in terms of the size of the addition, but they could finish a portion of the garage if they want. Okay, so we're going to vote on it then, and if you change it, you would have to come back to
I
the
know.
board, okay?
Thank you. Yep.
All right, thank you. Can I have a motion, please? Who's got it? Yes, no, nobody? All right. I can't do it. Who wants to read this?
What do you want me to read?
Madam Chair, I'll make the motion. We're at 6. Madam Chair, I move that we grant the special permit in accordance with Section 9.3 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaw to allow a 20 by 30 extended family living area addition. The municipal water and sewer shall not be overloaded by the EFLA. The public streets shall not become overloaded by the EFLA. The value of other buildings and properties shall not be depreciated by the EFLA. The specific site is an appropriate location for the EFLA. The EFLA will not adversely affect the neighborhood. There will not be undue nuisance to vehicles or pedestrians, and adequate and proper facilities will be provided to ensure the proper operation of the proposed EFLA. The proposed EFLA will be in harmony with the general purpose of the bylaw.
Can I have a second,
I'll
please?
second.
All right, and all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. And the variance, please?
I move to grant the dimensional variance from Table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaw to allow a 20 by 30 EFLA addition with the sides, with a less than side setback. The hardship is the size and shape of the lot. This condition does not affect other properties or structures in the same zoning district. A literal enforcement of the zoning bylaw would involve substantial hardship to the applicant, and granting this variance will not create a substantial detriment to the public good and will not nullify or derogate from the intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw.
Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, good luck. So meet with the planning board and they'll help you with the process, all right? Thank you. Good luck.
I have it here somewhere.
Becky? Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
We need a two-part finding, too?
Yeah, we forgot to do the two-part finding.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I missed,
I got that here. Jeff can read it.
Yeah.
oh. I don't have it.
Yeah, it's on the earlier one.
Oh.
I gave it,
I got it.
I handed everyone a voting guide.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's on the one.
We have the ones we printed.
Yeah.
They need to be here for that.
That's what I get for being too organized.
You know, we're paperwork savvy here. Can you wait? We need one more motion. Two more motions.
You need a finding, too.
Okay. Madam Chairman, I move that the 20 by 30 EFLA addition as shown on the plan submitted by the applicant is not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood.
And can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
And I move to grant the finding in accordance with Section 3.11 of the Danvers zoning bylaw to allow the 20 by 30 EFLA addition as shown on the plans, as it will not be substantially more detrimental than one presently exists.
And can I have a second?
I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, now you're all
Good.
set. Thank you. Gotta pull what they gave me here, huh?
There it is.
Yeah, I can't find, oh, here it is.
Aha.
There it is.
Ready?
All right, we're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our next case is 10 Endicott Street, zoned R1. Request for a dimensional variance to allow the construction of a second dwelling unit on a lot with 13,517 square feet, where 15,000 square feet is required in accordance with Table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaws by Barabee Realty LLC, docket 21-4935.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much. My name is Nancy McCann. I'm here on behalf of Barabee Realty LLC. Tom Barabee is with me tonight, as is Stephen Livermore, the project architect. And we are talking to you tonight about the property located at 10 Endicott Street in the R1 zoning district. And we are requesting a lot area variance in order to allow the construction of a fully conforming addition to the existing single-family home. We did make a full presentation with regard to this application at the May meeting, and a duplex, which is what's being proposed, is permitted in the R1 zoning district. The required minimum lot area is 15,000 square feet. We have slightly less than that, 13,517 square feet. So we're about 1,400 square feet short, and that is the reason for the variance. We did review with you at the last meeting. The existing home is located all the way over to the left-hand side, which allows us to construct a fully conforming connector area, which will provide a garage for both units, and then a new dwelling unit on the right-hand side, still leaving plenty of lawn area and yard area for the property. This will also allow us to eliminate an existing driveway that goes along the left-hand side, which is right up against the lot line. That driveway will be removed and a lawn will be created there, and the garage that is non-conforming and shown dotted in the back left-hand corner will be removed. So we will be removing that existing non-conformity. At the end of our hearing at the last meeting, we were asked to address concerns that the board had with regard to the parking. And this is the plan that we were able to come up with. And the biggest concern was there enough parking, but also how do the cars maneuver on the lot so that they can back up and front out and not back out onto Endicott Street. That was the concern. And so what we did was we were able to push the addition back 12 feet into the lot. So the addition has been pushed back 12 feet. It's still fully conforming. It's in fact 21.5 feet from the rear lot line, even though only 8 feet from the rear lot line is required as the setback. So we still have plenty of room in the rear lot line, but we were able to push the addition back, and that gave us room along the front. So we now have a 31 feet 7-inch front setback area, and that allows us to have some additional areas for backing vehicles so we can maneuver out front ways, and I'll point those out. This area has been extended back. Originally, it was up, the front setback was about here. We've created an area for backing and turning so that the vehicles can come out here, and the same on this side and come out, and then we have an additional parking space there. So we were able to, I think, address that concern so that vehicles will now be able to back up on the property and forward out. The location of this new driveway as proposed is much better from visibility standpoint than the existing driveway, which is all the way over on the left-hand side, as I mentioned earlier. So we've centered the driveway, we've provided the garage space for each unit in the middle, and now we have turning space for cars to be able to back up and front out. We also are able to retain 3 of the street trees. There are 4 street trees now. We are going to retain 3 of them, including this street tree that has the large 24-inch diameter caliper tree right there in the front. So that was discussed at the last meeting, whether we would be able to keep those street trees, and we are going to keep those. Finally, although this is a duplex permitted in the zoning district and it does not require compliance with the affordable housing provisions under the bylaw, that was mentioned at the board meeting, at the last meeting, and the applicant has agreed to make a $5,000 donation to the Affordable Housing Trust voluntarily in order to allow the trust to further its mission of providing affordable housing. So those are the items that were, I believe, on our agenda from the last meeting. I think we've made a successful and good faith attempt to address those concerns, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. I want to just ask, is Joe Anthony in the audience here tonight? No.
He's virtual.
He is virtual? Okay, so we won't necessarily have to read this? Okay. He can provide his comments. All right. Corinne, we're going to start with you.
Could you describe, or can you point out exactly where the parking spaces are going to be? I mean, I can see where you have the driveway, but typically they will be labeled like parking space 1, 2. And I don't remember from the original plans, how many garage parking spaces are there? Is there 2 or 4?
2.
Is 2, okay.
Nancy, do you mind bringing the microphone with you? Thank you.
Told me I could do.
Just so people at home can hear you.
Okay. So we have 2 garage parking spaces, 1 for each unit, 1 here and 1 here. We have a space in front of each, so there's 2 spaces for each unit, and then there's an additional parking space over here, and then these are the backup and front out.
Okay. Okay, thank you. No further questions. Ken, please.
So where's the entrance for the garage? Is that around the back, or is that right through the front?
No, the garage doors are right here. The elevation drawings of the garage that were submitted with the initial application have not changed, so the garage doors are here. So you pull it, this is the driveway, and you
Yep.
pull straight in.
So you said there was a parking spot, though, right in front of the garage?
Well, as you would in front of most homes, you have a single-car garage and a parking
Yeah,
space in front.
so you got to move one to, yep.
Yep.
Right. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you.
I have no questions, thank you.
John?
I'm sorry, just remind me, how many bedrooms are in each unit?
3.
3 on each?
Mhm.
And Attorney McCann, I see the center cut is an opening of 21 feet, and that's something you apply with the town for, correct? That's not a state road or anything there?
That's right.
And what are the other dimensions that show the 18 feet on each side of that opening?
What are they on?
Yeah, why are they indicated?
They were put on so that you could tell the length. They've just, rather than put the 18 feet here, they just marked it down. The
So they
surveyor just marked it
correspond to
down
the
here.
pavement? That's-
Exactly,
I
so
gotcha.
that you would see that the parking spaces and the rear backing in space is 18 feet, which is standard parking space dimension.
And the square footage of each unit?
Square footage of each unit, Stu? About 2,000 square feet.
Who's that?
It's Steve Livermore, the architect.
Okay.
2,000 on each? Very good. No further questions, thanks.
I have no questions, Mr. Chair, Madam Chairman, thank you.
Okay. So I just have a question. On the right side, is there actually some parking in the front there also?
You mean over here?
Yes.
That's, once again, kind of what Mr. Bonner
No.
just asked. It's not, it's how the dimensions were
So
shown.
It's 18 by 18? Is that?
This parking pad
Yes,
and backup pad is 18 by 18.
right.
It's 8-foot setback from the street and 10 feet, 5 inches, it looks like, from here.
So
It was
my
just a way
question
of
is,
showing
if it's
dimensions.
18 by 18, is there room to back up and turn around there, plus have one parking space? I mean, if the parking spaces are 9 by 18?
Right. So 9, yeah, 9,
Yeah,
Plus
9 by
9 is
18. So
18.
you would have room for somebody to back in there, but also still have enough room for another parking space.
right, which is what I indicated. You'd have a parking spaces, 2 in the garage.
Right.
2 in front of the garage, and then you have room for another stall space
Okay,
outside.
so 5, essentially.
Yes.
Parking. Okay.
Plus 2 backup spaces.
Right, right. Okay, all right. I don't have any other questions. Is he going to come on? Yes. We have comments from Joe Anthony, and we have them in writing, but we'll take him live if he's there on the screen for us. Barely.
For some reason, your audio is coming out of my computer. If DCAT can hear that.
You know what we'll do? We'll read his comments, and then if we can get him live, we'll do that. How's that? Here. Thank you.
Okay, he says, "I'm not sure how to pose these concerns to the zoning board in reference to the revised site plan for 10 Endicott, but I'd like the board to consider them, especially the concern for parking lot and access and egress."
Say where he lives.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Does it say on there? He lives across the
He's
street.
Joe Anthony from 13A Endicott Street,
Okay.
directly across from this project. It would be good for the consultant to see the comments and try to be at the meeting with some responses. It would be possible to save some time. The plan says that there will be either 4 parking spaces or maybe 6 to accommodate the extra bedrooms. Either way, the parking area and its access to Endicott Street into the busy street doesn't work without the cars backing out onto Endicott Street. That is not safe, and it will cause a lot of strife on the roadway. We should see the parking space layout, pavement markings at the next meeting. The parking area is too small. I suggest you have the town engineers department have a look at it. They can superimpose standard automobile turning templates on the site plan. On our side of Endicott Street, we almost always pull onto Endicott Street by driving forward. Also, the lanes that we pull into don't queue much at all. There are always openings in the traffic flow for us to pull into, not so for the PM rush hour at the Endicott side of the street, where it's an entirely different ballgame. Another concern is, what will this housing development look like from our side of the street? What are they going to do to dress up the dismal appearance of the existing house that is there today? And what will the new structure's facade look like? We 6 owners across the street will be staring at 10 Endicott Street each and every day. I think this would be a given opportunity to comment on its appearance. There were a lot of concerns expressed in the last meeting. What have been done to address them, I guess we'll see June 14th. And that's about all.
Is there anything you'd like to comment on that?
Yes, I think we reviewed with you already
much all of
the
that.
parking spaces and all of that. We provided detailed elevation drawings with the application. Mr. Anthony lives in a duplex across the street. This is simply going to be a duplex on this side of the street, and the architect is here to speak to any questions with regard to the elevations, but they were very attractive elevations, maintaining the existing structure and adding to that in a way that is characteristic and in keeping with the existing structure, and certainly will be a welcome improvement to that property.
Thank you.
We can,
Does he want to say anything?
we can try this.
Watch this. Such technology.
I don't know if it's gonna work.
Not working.
Hear me now?
Barely.
Go ahead, Joe, we'll see if it works.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm good with the parking situation now. I didn't realize that they could pull into the garage, so I was kind of stuck on how the cars would maneuver without a garage being there. But I'm fine with that. So thank you. I was curious also about the curb cut, the existing curb cut over on the, would be the east side of the property. Is that going to be filled in with a full reveal curb, or is that going to remain?
We would work with the DPW department as we work through the curb cut for the driveway as proposed, and if
Okay.
that curb is going to be closed, then we would work with them.
Usually it's DPW that does the
Yeah.
street curbing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my last point is about the appearance on the frontage. Number one, is the chain link fence going to be removed, or is it going to stay in place? It's not a very, it's kind of an industrial looking fence at this point.
We heard you, Joe, they're just consulting.
It's anticipated that the chain link fence would stay, but it would be painted black, so it really disappears from view.
Okay. Anything done on the existing building to improve its aesthetics from the frontage point of view?
Yes, I think we addressed that at the last meeting, that it's certainly going to be renovated and updated and improved so that it's in character. Obviously, they're going to be putting a lot of money into this new addition. They're going to want the left-hand side to look as nice as the right-hand side.
there anything specific that means? Or you would do new windows, or the front steps, or the shrubberies are pretty wild, I guess they'll be removed?
I can't hear that. Can you repeat it?
Joe, can you say that one more time, please?
Yeah, again, with the frontage of the existing building, is anything going to be done with like the front steps or the wild shrubs that are kind of there and not looking too good right now? Is anything going to be done in that?
It doesn't work. I'm sorry.
I think I can kind of
You
hear
hear him enough?
I can hear him. I don't know if it's coming out of that
Okay.
speaker, but he was asking what we were going to do with the appearance of the existing building. And Mr. Barabee has just informed me that the house color, siding color, and the trim are the same color, and he's going to change those so that it doesn't look so monotone.
Okay.
And he's removing the existing porch and putting on a new porch because the existing porch is dilapidated. So he's going to make a lot of improvements so that it looks like an attractive new duplex. He's not going to put all this money into the right side and have the left
Doesn't
side
make
look like
sense.
it's falling down.
Right, of course. Okay.
Thank-
Is that it?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for your comments. All right, how are we doing here? Do we have any other comments or questions from the audience? We don't. We're good. All right, we're back to Corinne.
I will vote for this project.
Okay.
I would vote for this as well.
Okay.
I liked this project from the beginning. I like it even more with the parking changes. Thank you for doing that. I will vote for this.
Yeah, I too think this is a very good change. I think this was a situation where you heard what we said and the neighbors, and to have cars pulling out forward onto Endicott Street is definitely good. I'm glad you're able to save those 3 trees. I would really like to see that fence be replaced versus painted. But, you know, I understand money gates everything, but maybe the poles could stay up and you could do new vinyl fencing or something. But, yeah, I would vote for it.
Jeff?
I will not vote for this project. I do not see a hardship, so I can't justify approving a variance. It just looks to me like the builder wants to put 2 units on a lot that only is the size for 1. So I will not vote for this.
Okay. And I'll vote for this. I appreciate also that you made the changes, and I think it'll be improvement of the existing house. It's just a tough street, but, you know, I think the project works, and it'll be a good addition. It'll be similar to the ones on the other side of the street. So I need a motion, please.
Madam Chair, I move that we grant the dimensional variance from Table 2 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaws to allow the construction of a second dwelling unit on a lot with 13,517 square feet, where 15,000 square feet is required, also with the condition that the applicant has offered a donation of $5,000 to the Danvers Affordable Housing Trust. The condition of this does not affect other properties or structures in the same zoning district. A literal enforcement of the zoning bylaw would involve substantial hardship to the applicant. And granting this variance will not create a substantial detriment to the public good and will not nullify or derogate from the intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Okay.
Just one point.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, do we need, Georgia, the board should condition the dimensional variance, required payment made prior to issuing any occupancy permits.
That's fine.
That's on
All
here,
right.
so I just read it.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck. We're looking forward to seeing it. Thank you.
I lost my sheet.
One more.
We ready?
Yeah, we got one more.
Okay, our last case is 16 Putnam Street, zoned R1. Request for a finding to add a 4-foot by 12-foot deck to an existing non-conforming dwelling in accordance with Section 3.11 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaws, made by Eric Giordano, docket 21-4939.
Thank you. All right, please introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like to do.
I'm Eric Giordano, and
We've seen you before.
Yeah, you have. And I wanted to put a 4x12 balcony, not quite a deck, off of my kitchen. I have an existing window. I want to add a 32-inch door, just so we have somewhere to sit. We have a 4-foot walkway underneath that now. We want to match the same as that to the property line by 12 feet. We just don't have a lot of space. We have no yard. All our yards in the front for our parking, because it was set up as a dentist office back in the 80s. So it's a tricky lot, and it's just looking for a spot to sit outside, have a cup of coffee.
Okay.
I mean, that's the gist of it.
And what's your rear setback? Do you know?
I don't know any of the setbacks, but as I said, the 4 feet, we have an existing walk now. Builder, I forget what his name is, did a whole new structure in the back and set a fence right up to the property line. So it'd be pretty close to right up to the property line, but we already have a walkway there. That's how we access our downstairs.
Okay, so you're in R1 zoning, right?
Yeah.
So you need an 8-foot setback, which means your house has to be 8 feet from the rear lot line. And you're 4 feet now?
Oh, yeah, we're non-conforming.
Yeah, I
So-
did walk around the back of your house.
Yeah, we're non-conforming. We're
Madam Chair,
pretty-
there's 6 feet right now for the house.
There's 6?
Yeah, it goes 6 to 4.
6 on one side.
6 on one and
Yep.
4 on the
Yeah,
other.
it's kind of an angle, 4 foot on the left side, same thing on the right side.
Okay,
And the frontage is all the parking.
That's a
okay. So essentially, you're looking for a balcony, you're not looking for a deck?
No stairs going down.
Well, it's
just-
sort of a balcony, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, so. the-
Okay.
The 4 foot, so and you know, I'm looking to probably just do some sort of a bracket type system, so that I don't have
Yeah.
posts going into the ground or any of that, because there's not a lot of space. There's not much cantilever at 4 feet.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? We have questions for you,
That's
all
it.
right?
Yeah, sure.
Jeff, please.
I have no questions, Madam Chairman, thank you.
John?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Giordano, we issued I guess was it a variance?
Variance.
For the mudroom on the right-hand side, or a finding, I'm sorry, it was a finding.
It's a lean-to shed, not a mudroom.
All right, whatever it is. I did a site visit. It doesn't look like it's complete.
It's-
Can you tell me about that?
Yes, sure. It's not complete because I'm waiting I wanted to try to get the deck when we had enough money to do that, and then I'm gonna re-vinyl everything. That's why I haven't vinyled that yet. So I wanted to put new vinyl around the back and the sides.
Well, in a minute, we'll be coming to the
The
audience.
front is brick, but that's why that isn't vinyled yet. I didn't wanna do it till we could afford to do the back deck, and that's why we're going for this now. And then we're gonna re-vinyl everything and put 8 new windows in the back, because all the windows in the front are already done.
So you're kind of hinging this request on the other one?
No, I haven't wrapped it in vinyl yet because, yeah, I was waiting to do everything so everything would go, I could do everything at once. I mean, the structure's built, it's not vinyled. That's the only thing left. to
Okay,
do.
but this was granted in 2017?
Yep.
All right, well, so I guess my next question would be, so off the back side of the house, that's considered, what, a dining room or a kitchen or something, is where you want to put this deck?
Yeah, so it's my kitchen. It's my kitchen, and there's 4 windows there now. We take one window out. It's right now 36 inches wide. We want to put a 32-inch door.
So you said you're going to do siding around the whole house, isn't it brick?
It's brick in the front.
Can you
siding-
speak into the
I'm sorry.
microphone?
Brick in the front, siding on the other 3 sides.
I have no further questions.
I think you answered my question. So you're not going to have 4x4 posts going from the balcony down to the ground?
No, it doesn't make sense.
Nothing below that?
Nothing below at all. It'll cantilever and bracket over.
All right, I have no further questions. Thank you.
Ken?
I have no questions.
I have one question. It says here that it's 6 feet to the back and then 4 feet to the side. Is that correct? Am I
Yes.
reading that right?
Yes,
So when you construct this, it's going to be roughly 2 feet from your property line?
yes, on one side and then right up to the property line on the other side. Because it's goes from 6 to 4, so it's
Okay.
4 feet, yep.
Green?
Okay, thank you. No, I have it.
Yeah, he's got, this side is 4 feet. And
No,
this
no, no,
side
I,
is 6.
I see it, thank you.
Yeah, okay. All right. I also visited the property, and I have some concerns. I was one of the board members that approved that addition, and so 4 years, and it's not completed, concerns me. I also saw that you already applied for a permit to put this balcony on your house.
Yeah, I did it backwards. I didn't realize I had to do this first.
It looks like you applied for it twice.
I did?
Yeah, I think so. So anyway,
I might have did it wrong online. Maybe I did it twice online. I don't remember
know.
doing it twice.
So it's just, I want to be clear that it's going to be right up to the lot line on one side and then about 2 feet
Exactly.
on the other end.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Just- yep.
that's the only question I have. Any other questions from the board? No. To the audience, please. Is there anyone who'd like to make a comment or question? You have to, please identify yourself, and you're going to have to go to the microphone because we're on TV.
Sorry. Oh my goodness.
You're on TV.
Going to be on TV tonight. Hello, everyone. My name is Dolorata Gagnon, and I own the property next door to 16.
What number?
It's 20 Putnam. My house is on the corner, 20 Putnam and 20 Cherry Street.
Okay.
Okay, the concern, I have one question. I have a lot of concerns about the walkway, the cement walkway, the shed, the balcony. The fellow construction that built the property next door, the fence in the back, it's 2 feet off from the property line, towards more that way. And the shed, it's not been done because I don't allow him to come on my property to finish up the work.
Okay. All right, so the fence you're saying is actually further, it's providing more than 4 feet or more than
Yes.
6 feet? It's 2 feet onto the property next door?
Yes.
Okay,
Because in back of my garage, it's only 2 feet and I have 4.
okay,
And my property line, the
So
same thing, it goes slanted up this way and it goes slanted down this way.
so the property owner to the back allowed you
Yeah.
some extra space behind your
Well,
house?
no, I don't want the extra space. I'd
Yeah.
rather the fence be on the line where it's supposed
Where
to
it's
be.
supposed to be, yeah.
But I'm getting my property, it's, well, I'm gonna put a fence
Yeah,
as soon as I can get it surveyed.
okay, so are you in favor of this?
Absolutely not.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else who'd like to comment? Yeah. Take your time.
My name is John Kelleher. I live at 14 Putnam. So you're looking at the front, obviously, here. I'm to the left.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure how high this balcony is going to be off of the ground. I think that was our one concern that we had.
It's
I haven't had a
actually
chance to talk to Eric yet, so I'm
Going
not...
to come right off of the second floor, so you can walk out of the second floor.
Right. So,
There's a photo right there, see it?
yeah.
It's
So-
going to be in line, it's going to be a level with the floor, so it'll be 8 feet high off the ground approximately.
Right.
That's how I see it.
So it's essentially, it's above the fence line that we have there, which I think
Right.
in the adjacent, or however you word that, the property right across from it,
Adjacent.
there are trees there that would block that view, I think, and that's up to them. But what we're concerned with is that on that balcony, there's a direct line of sight, not only into our first floor windows, but also to our bedroom. So if this does go through, I would ask that there has to be some kind of privacy barrier on that left-hand portion that's facing our house, because it's very, very close. Our house and his property are actually very close together. I think they're probably 20 feet, if not less. So if there is any balcony there, just to be able to, if someone's sitting there, if they look up, they're going to be looking right into our bedroom window, essentially. Okay, so that's our main concern with this, if this does go through, okay?
No problem with that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Anyone else?
Bill Bradstreet, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 1. The project is one thing, it's too much for the lot size. Before, when the shed was added, I had issues with that. I think the board members had issues with that. That hasn't changed, and I don't think this balcony is going to make the situation for that location any better. And the other question that came up was about a line of sight from the balcony. What are you looking at? Someone's bedroom, the bathroom, what have you? I don't care what kind of a barrier is put up there. It's not appropriate. It's too much for this size lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Duggan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matthew Duggan, 41 Chase. I think we should delve in a little deeper on the rear property line. Can you scroll down to the bottom of this, please? I'd like to know the accuracy of this plan. I think it was done for a mortgage application, and I think we know that those aren't exactly accurate. And you can see it there on the upper left corner. It says 4 feet plus or minus. The previous commenter talked about the fence that at the rear, that's 22 Cherry Street. That fence does not denote the property line.
Exactly.
And it's a question about how far off the property line that fence is. Well,
That's my problem.
Okay.
we don't know that. That's the point. So,
Okay, so your point, I'm just going to say, your point is a good point. This is a mortgage survey. A mortgage survey can be off by as much as 5 feet, okay? So if we were to approve this, we would want an actual survey of the property. The other point is correct, that a fence can be anywhere, but the lot line is the lot line, which is legally the lot line. So a fence can be on somebody else's property or further in on your property, but it doesn't denote the lot line.
right.
Yes.
So what can happen is, even though this balcony isn't touching the ground, it could be looked at like an eave, a roof eave, that would
Yes.
encroach over the property line onto the property of 22 Cherry. So this application, it says a finding. It's not a variance from the setback? I thought the finding was only for, dealt with
Well, it's
nonconformity.
non-conforming already, so it would be
Right.
not substantially more detrimental. We would have to say it was.
Well, I think it is more detrimental to what's
Well,
there today.
If we approved it.
Well, I'm just saying from my
So
perspective.
from
and
your perspective, okay.
I think it is more detrimental. I
Okay.
think the lot is very small. You can barely walk around the building.
Right.
So
I think
I
most
would
of us
say,
did a site visit, we're aware of that.
I would say it's prudent to look more closely at the actual dimensions and where the boundaries exist.
So are you saying you're not in favor of this? Or are you
I'm
just
not in
commenting?
I'm not in favor of this, and I don't want to go back in time and talk about that shed that was built there without, initially without the permit, but I don't think this is an appropriate structure to be built
Okay.
on the side of that house. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? There isn't anybody else. Everybody spoke. Do you want to make any comments to any of the questions or comments from your neighbors?
Yeah, my comment is we do have a hardship. That's why we're trying to do this. We only have 4 feet, basically, a real walkway all the way around our home. I'm going to re-side everything when I'm done with everything. It's all going to look beautiful. It's going to improve the neighborhood. Definitely put up a barrier. We are close. That fence has nothing to do with my property line. the builder that got approved for that put the fence there. So I'm not going off the fence, I'm going off the lot lines. And the 4 feet I'm adding is exactly what I have for a walkway now to get into my home. So I'm not taking or changing anything, I'm just adding a walkway above it. I know it's a structure. It's not gonna overhang anything. It's just gonna give us a spot to go outside and sit down, get some sun. That's what we're looking for. I mean, I've been in Danvers over 20 years, keep my property nice. That's what I'm looking for.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, are we ready for deliberations? We're going to start, I start with Jeff, right?
Yeah. Did we? Yeah. Yeah, I'm very nervous about not having a real plot plan. So I would not approve this as presented.
Okay, thank you. John?
Thanks, Madam Chair. Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate the applicant's desire to expand his area, but, you know, he's in R1.
Tight area.
The setback's 8 feet. I don't think I'd be in favor of anything that brings it right to the property line. I just think that goes against what we're trying to do, which is to get more compliance. And, you know, the fact that the shed's still in the state it's in from 2017, I just wouldn't vote for it as presented.
Thank you. Ken?
Yeah, I mean, these setbacks are awful to begin with. I just think this is too much going on in the back of the house. We've just heard from the neighbors. I'm a no on this.
Yeah, I have the same sentiments as the rest of the board has spoken. I just think, you know, that the setbacks, we may go like half of a setback, but to go right to the lot line is, that's a little too much, so I wouldn't vote for this, no.
Okay. Ken?
I agree with the other board members. I just think it's too close back there. So I would be a no.
And I would also be a no. We don't usually approve, we never approve anything that's right to the lot line. We just don't. Sometimes, as Ken said, we would go halfway, but, and I do have concerns, the same as John, about something that was approved in 2017 that hasn't been completed. So these are your options. Your options are for us to deny your request. If we deny it, then you can't come back for 2 years. The other option is to withdraw your application.
I can't appeal this?
If we deny it, and you take we take a vote, and we issue a denial, you can appeal this to land court.
I can appeal if it's a denial?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
You realize that's in land court, though, not through the town.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna get approved, so that's
You have to appeal to the state.
Is that my only, so if I withdraw it now, what good is that gonna do? You mean down the line, is that what you're saying? Apply for it again down the line? I don't see where that would get me anywhere.
I doubt with this board that you're going to get it approved if you applied again, but it's your choice.
Yeah.
You want a denial?
Sure, you can deny it then, if that's what you're gonna do.
Okay, can I have a motion, please? Just move that you deny the application.
Madam Chair, I move that we deny the application to 16 Putnam Street.
Do we deny or
Just
do
say-
we propose it and then vote against it?
No, we deny it.
We deny it?
All right.
Okay.
And say what it is for.
We are not approving the hardship, which is the setback.
It's a request for a finding, right?
Request for a two-part, yes, for a two-part finding.
Okay.
For a
thank you.
4x12 deck on the rear of the building.
Okay. And can I have a second on that?
I'll second.
All right, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So they will issue a written denial of your request, okay? Thank you.
Okay, come on up to the mic.
Go to the microphone. That's all right. Well, this is new technology for us, too. We didn't have all these microphones
So my
before.
question is, he can go to court and get approved?
He can appeal to land court, which is a state court. It'll probably take him a couple years to get a court date, and then he can apply for, explain what he wants approval for, and then they'll make a decision, and it'll take years, so.
I have another quick question, and was the shed approved to be
Yes.
built?
Yes.
I believe he started it before it was approved, and then he came in front of us and we did approve it because it was already half-built. Not that
Because
that's a
I
good
never
reason.
got any notification about the shed. All of a sudden, the shed is up.
That was in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2017, we approved it.
Okay, thank you
Okay?
very much.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Do you have a question, too? Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to wait for your question.
That area is quite, I won't say congested, but I know the lot lines are somewhat difficult to establish. They're very old. What are the steps and processes that we can take somehow to get a survey done?
You have to hire a surveyor.
You have to hire a surveyor.
So does it work better to have, let's say, several homeowners come together? Is that how it's
Well, they
typically
might give you a
done?
better deal.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, but that can't be
Yeah.
done by the city at all.
No,
That's
the town
totally up
has
to
to
the
get
land
And
of the
if you talk to
homeowners.
the planning department, they'll tell you some of the surveyors that, I don't want to say it here,
Okay.
but they can give you the names of some of the surveyors that are very typical in town. There's certain 2 or 3 that do almost all the work in town.
Okay, great.
And that is the nature of downtown. I mean, that's why it is an R1 district.
Yeah.
They are smaller lots and the setbacks are tighter.
And some of the
many
lines
neighborhoods.
aren't so straight either.
right.
And there's some
Right.
overlap, not overlap, but they really join together,
Right.
so. All right, I'll look
But,
into that.
but
It's
a
laid out by
surveyor can-
cows back in the
You
day.
know, before you put a fence up, you always want to.
That's right. Trees used to be the lot lines back then. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Madam Chair, motion to adjourn? Oh,
We have another question. by
Yes,
Mr.
one
Barrett.
more
It's
question.
Q&A night. I guess everybody missed us.
Yeah.
Can you talk in the hallway, please? We're still,
Again, Bill Bradstreet, town meeting member, precinct 1. Will we be using this room in the future or again?
it's our understanding that this is our permanent
This is our home.
location.
Yeah.
Having said that, when I was a child and you put things up on the board, we had these long wooden pointers, so the person making the presentation
You didn't get
could
hit with that?
actually point to what was in question as
Or a
opposed to
laser
be-
pointer, but.
I've had 'em
you know
slapped
what?
on the desk.
We can pass your comments on to the
Yeah.
planning department, and they might be able to come up
We're
with
getting better.
something.
Mr. Bradstreet, this is our first one back.
I
so
understand.
It's a learning
Easy,
curve.
man.
Your
Learning
mic is
curve.
working this time, the computer's working. Can we have the temperature raised, not lowered? I know I have shorts on, it's a little cool, but to me, if this is the way it's going to present it, I think someone needs a pointer rather than relying on Georgia over there to try to make sure she's hitting the right spot. It'd be up to the
We
presenter to do
appreciate your
that.
comments. Thank you very much. We're still on DCAT, so we're going to say goodnight to you, all right?
Good night, boy.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Good night,
Good night,
Danvers.
Danvers.
Good night.